5 Georgia parents reacting to possible cuts to federal programs that serve children.
Atlanta News First reporter Abby Casoris breaks down a new report revealing parents need more help.
Proposed funding cuts in Washington leaving Georgia parents on edge. Congress considering cuts to programs that assist more than 1 million Georgia children, programs that keep them healthy and fed. Researcher Stephen Patrick at Emory School of Medicine compiled this report, The State of Child Health and Well-Being. He says behind every data point is a child and a story.
And it is a temperature check.
The results show parents need help from state and local leaders. Food insecurity affects more than 1 out of every 3 Georgia families, more than double the national rate. 91% of Georgia parents favor free school meals for children. A bill to do so has failed repeatedly in the state legislature.
Everybody benefits when the children are well. Everybody benefits when the children's needs are met.
While parents say they need more help, federal leaders are looking to make cuts. The federal spending bill, known as the Big Bill, includes billions of dollars cut from programs like SNAP that help low-income families purchase groceries. Adrienne Pinkney says she's concerned about cuts to programs like Head Start, child care and education for children under 5. She relied on Head Start for her daughters.
They're talking about cutting Head Start. They clearly don't know what they're talking about. They clearly don't know the impact that Head Start makes on communities and how much it allows parents to work, how much it allows children to eat.
The study shows parents are concerned for their child's health amidst proposed cuts to Medicaid, one of the largest safety net programs. 41% of Georgia kids are enrolled. Patrick says while coverage is a good thing, they found most families can't afford to pay for medication.
But we asked parents if their kid has a diagnosis, that's a mental health diagnosis, were they in treatment? And most were not.
Patrick hopes the study will help guide policy with the interests of Georgia parents in mind. In Brookhaven, I'm Abby Casoris.